All right. I think we're live. I think we are live. Guys, what's going on? It's Coach Seamus. Man, I'm just hanging out here in the nice, in the nice vicinity of Los Angeles. You know, this whole time change thing, post Halloween, time saving, whatever this is, daylight saving thing. It's kind of dark out. I wish we had more light, but welcome to our first live call. So, guys, Athlete 2.0, we're doing our kickoff call. You know what? I'm super stoked. I'm super excited to be here. Um, Solo Coach Seamus, that's cool. That's what we're doing. Don't worry, Coach Marcos is going to have his time. If you love him so much, get him on the call. But we're going to go solo dolo with Coach Seamus today. And what are we doing? Well, first off, what's Athlete 2.0? Let's ask that. What are you guys doing here? First and foremost, Athlete 2.0. This is a community team that we've created where we are delivering live weekly calls up to 3 times per week. We might do more. We're delivering free resources, and we're going to keep you coaching, accountable, and basically getting you to your goals through a free community. And if you need higher coaching, there's always that availability. But what is an athlete 2.0? What is that person? Well, an athlete 2.0, if you guys check it out in the deets, is basically an ex or inspiring ex-athlete of sorts who may now be a busy professional, an accommodating parent, and someone who is health conscious with high performance goals. So, this is somebody just like yourself who's watching this, who's probably, you're busy with kids, but you're like, man, Seamus, Marcos, I want to train hard. I want to still get my performance goals. I do a sport. Maybe I do a weekend warrior thing where like I do a Spartan race, like some of our clients do, or they just want to play some pickleball, hang with their kids, do that. That's what athlete 2.0 is. They've defined themselves as a previous athlete, right? And they have done different things, but now they're in the throes of life. So if you guys are live, do me a favor before I go into what we're going to go today. We're going to go into our Athlete 2.0 frameworks, the B's body composition. That's freaking right. But before I get into that, I know there's a few of you guys watching. I see you viewers out there. Do me a favor. Can you hit that like button for me? Hit that like button and then just comment hashtag live, hashtag Seamus nice hair, hashtag who is that guy on the screen? Why is he talking so much and waving his arms? Who is this guy? Just do me a favor, you viewers out there, and if you are doing a replay, do me a favor and just hit hashtag replay. All right, guys, we're doing this live through Facebook. This is an educational call, so we're going to do a few different formats where we will be live in Zoom and we'll be putting it out free to the group where you can ask questions and basically get in there and get coached up. But if you are what we call like a higher tiered member client coach who's paying to be coached up, you will be in those calls with us while the rest of the group gets to see. So, there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So we're super excited. But today is more of an educational call. And Marco's here. Oh, Marcos, my man. Hashtag we forgot the Zoom. Hey, don't worry. If there's one thing Coach Seamus is really good at, it is spitting from the hip and shooting from the butt. and being able to pivot on the fly. I think that's my one superhuman power. So it is all right if we are doing a little bit of the Zoom. We're still going to go Facebook Live. But Athlete 2.0, the B's of body composition. If you guys are ready to hear what the B's of body composition are, just put B in the chat. B, the letter B, BEE, whatever it is. Put it in the chat and we'll see what's going on. So we got a few folks coming in here, and we're going to talk about the B's of body composition with our live educational call today, and we're going to cover the Athlete 2.0. Adapt or die, my man. Yes, Marcos, very much so. All right, who wants the B's of body composition, guys? You let me know. You want to learn a little something? You let me know. I'm going to teach you a lesson today. Maybe if you're struggling today, this lesson, the 2 to 3 things I'm going to teach you here today, might be what is getting you from that body composition goal where you're struggling to lose that last few pounds, or that body composition goal where you're trying to perform at your best, yet you struggle with the food that you're intaking and it throws you off the plan. Or maybe it's a body composition goal where you are just struggling so much that it's always on your mind and you feel like you're never getting anywhere. If you feel like you resonate, just put B in the chat. I see Marcos put 5 Bs. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Okay, team, let's get into it. What is the B's of body composition? We're not going to cover them all today. We're going to cover them all throughout in our educational series as we talk about them on Facebook Live. But the 5 Bs, go write these down real quick, okay? The 5 Bs. And by the way, if you guys are, struggling, this is definitely something you want to make sure you write down. So I'm going to let you grab that pen. Let's grab that piece of paper. We're going to talk about this, okay? By the way, if you're struggling and if you haven't gotten that piece of paper, you're going to pinch yourself because what I'm about to throw down right here, some genius. Genius. Okay, what are the 5 Bs? Okay, back at it. What are the 5 Bs? Baseline. Okay. Burn, build, balance, and beyond. One more time. Baseline, burn, build, balance, and beyond. A quick introduction for each. Baseline is basically that word, trying to figure out a baseline. What's going on? We're just kind of getting an understanding of where you're at currently as we work with you. As you guys know, in this group, you're going to get free resources. So one of the things that you will see as things goes along is you're going to get a free resource where you can find your baseline through your nutrition metrics, through your performance, through your biofeedback. And that is just basically a habit of journaling, tracking, measuring, okay? Burn sounds exactly what it is. Burn some fat, burn some calories, burn off. That's what we call like a caloric deficit, or a time to shred, or a time to show off a little bit more what you've been working for. 2, the next one is going to be a build. Exactly what it is. We're performing higher capacities, we're building more muscle, or we are doing something along the lines of building up. Balance is trying to find a lifestyle component where you're trying to balance a few things. Again, what are we? Athlete 2.0, busy parents, professionals, accommodating health, conscious folks, high performers. So maybe we might just try to find a place where we are just trying to find a balance within it all, in context of lifestyle. And then lastly, beyond. Beyond is quite honestly one of my favorite zones. So when we get there, I think you will love it. Beyond is kind of understanding that all the things that we've done in the previous 4, and you could we start at baseline, but you could go anywhere really. But when you get to beyond, this honestly is one of my favorite because you learn how to live off the grid, quote unquote. You don't need to be in the apps. You don't need to be in the tracker. You don't need to be in this place where you constantly feel like Coach Seamus, Coach Marcos, what is going on with me? I don't know what to do. I want to live my lifestyle. I want to do certain things. Beyond is that, and I can't wait to teach you guys how to do beyond. It's actually one of my favorite zones, one of my favorite things to do, the habits, the rituals, the lifestyle around it. Oh, it's so much fun. But guys, do me a favor, comment below. Marcos has been commenting crazy. There's 3 viewers here, okay? There's 3. One day it'll be 300, so I'm practicing, okay? I'm practicing. Type down baseline for me real quick if you guys want to understand the 2 to 3 things you need to do during your baseline to make sure you have the best baseline phase, so that if you need to get into your burn or build, balance, and beyond, you will do it right. Just type down baseline. I'll wait for that comment. Guys, Stevia. Oh, clutch. Classic creamy root beer, my favorite. Why do I like it? No phosphorus killing you. It's solid. No caffeine in there. And no calories. So I like it. Katrina likes baseline. Marcos says baseline. Marcos is just going for it. He's like baseline. 5 Bs. Hey, Katrina and Marcos having fun in the chat. Hey, guys, be in the chat for me. Interact, even though we're educating. Okay, guys, here are the 2 to 3 things that we're going to talk about in our baseline and why you need a good baseline, okay, to make sure you have a better build, a better burn, or a better beyond or balanced lifestyle. So the 1 2 3 things. So one of the big things that I like to see with my clients, the people that we work with, Marcos and I like to work with in our coaching frameworks, is one, getting an understanding of where you're at. And what I mean by this, getting an understanding of where you're at. What I mean by this, to have a great baseline, is just the principle of tracking or journaling. Now, I didn't say, hey, you're going to eat this meal plan. You're going to do this workout plan. We're not doing any of that. We're just tracking. Hey, what are you doing right now? What's going well for you? What's not going well for you? If you can have an understanding there, the cool thing about the tracking is it's kind of like finances. What gets measured can now be managed. How do you create a budget if you don't know what's going in or what's going out? It's the same thing for your calories. Now, the argument for tracking, there's a few, but the biggest one that we always hear, and Marcos can put a thumbs up in the chat there because he knows this one, is like, do I always have to be tracking? Do I always need to look at my macros? Do I always need to weigh and measure my food? Coach, like, do I always have to do that? Well, do you always have to eat? Do you always got to pay your bills? Is the tax man coming around the corner? Yes. No, you don't have to always do that. That's what we teach you in the beyond phase. So that's something to look forward to. But for a certain amount of time in the baseline, it's very much recommended to do tracking, journaling, and dedicating a few moments of your day, 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe at most, to really get in there. Now, there's a few ways you can do the tracking and measuring, but the important part is you're just doing it. The reason is, and it's the same thing with your finances, things like that. The tax man's coming. Your health, your wellness, your fitness, your body fat, your nutrition, your bone mineral density, your muscle mass, your brain activity, all this stuff kind of relies on what you put in, the fuel that you put in. And if you don't know what is going on, how could we pinpoint what you're doing wrong or what you're doing well if you have a specific goal? So a baseline phase is one of the things that we like to do. The principle of tracking is there. So that's number one, guys. Number one. All right. So we got some comments. Maybe we got some questions. Anyone got anything about that tracking, measuring? Oh yes, the few ways you guys can do it. Obviously, we've got our metric sheet that we guys are going to show to you in the next few days here after this call. It'll be up. You guys get your nutrition metrics you can track, your biofeedback form you can track, and then also at the same time, your workout tracker. Tracking, measuring. Again, we're not doing anything with it. Just tracking and measuring. That's it. That's it. Tracking, measuring. We're not doing anything yet. We're not doing anything yet. All right. So we haven't done anything. So don't worry. We're not doing anything with it. Okay. Principle number 2 of the baseline. What makes a successful baseline? I love what Marco says. The answer is it depends, like everything in nutrition and all that. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, everything, it always depends, right? Round 2. What's the next principle that's super important? We'll get into 3. And I want to make sure you guys stay there because this is the stuff that with the B's of body composition, you're always gonna, whether your body composition is, hey, Coach Seamus, I gotta drop 10% body fat, or Coach Seamus, I want to keep my percent body fat but increase my muscle mass. Like, these are the things that we want to, be on top of. Number 2, a longer baseline is probably gonna be your best friend. Okay, a longer baseline. So being patient and extending your baseline, that's what is going to get you successful. I've seen myself, I've seen certain clients, and I've seen certain things happen where, you could be getting into a routine and you're like, oh, I'm going to set up my nutrition plan and I'm going to do this workout plan. I'm going to hit this many steps. I'm going to do this nutrition plan. I'm going to go to bed at this time. And then you only give yourself like a few days to get it down and you have to do it right. Hard start Monday. I'm starting Monday. Marcos and I writing a book about this. Don't start Monday. Start now. Maybe start Sunday. Who knows? You have a little more time on Sundays. But the concept there is you're not being patient enough to kind of understand what is truly dictating your goals or your outcomes, the inputs and outputs. What do I mean by this? So let's say your goal is to lose weight. I get it. You're a busy parent, you're professional, you're working hard, things just get a little stressful. The first thing you think of, okay, I'm going to do a burn phase. You go right into a burn phase without knowing what you're doing. No assessment, nothing. We're going in blind. We're shooting from the hip. Pop. If you're not an expert in understanding your body composition, I wouldn't recommend just going in blind. If you're not like one of our clients who we're going to highlight here soon enough, like Katrina, who's done years and years of tracking, build phase, beyond phases, and then be able to go in and burn randomly, uh, you're going to have a hard time because you haven't prepped your body, and not even just your body, but your lifestyle and your habits and your mindset to be ready to do a burn. Because here's what's going to happen: you're probably going to drop your calories super, super significantly. I've seen this time and time again. Had clients drop to really low calories. I'll use like a ladies for specific. One time I was working with a lady, she got down to 1,100 calories before I'd worked with her. And she goes, okay, Seamus, I'm eating 1,100 calories. I'm working out. Maybe I'm sometimes doing 2 days and nothing's happening. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, let's just see what happens. Let's give it like a week. Nothing happens. She's frustrated, you know. She goes, well, what do we do? And I go, my younger self made the mistake. Well, what is the next thing to do? Technically, she's supposed to be in a caloric deficit. You know, it's a pound of fat is 3,000 calories. So we're supposed to do like 500 calories off in 1 week, whatever, or a day, and we'll get that pound off. Well, how ridiculous is that? Someone's eating 600 calories. That sounds so dumb. The problem was because they went right into a burn phase without understanding their baseline. Now, I wasn't talking about nutritional baseline, their caloric baseline. We were going to talk about their lifestyle baseline. Let's talk about this. What do I mean by this? They didn't give themselves enough time. And when Marcos and I talk about this with you guys, we like to see a month. Okay, about a month, maybe even 6 weeks. I've seen as long as 8 weeks, but 6 weeks good, where we work with you and we're just trying to figure you out. What is the thing that makes you tick? Okay, hey, let's create a plan for you. We got this personalized nutrition plan. Let's create this fitness plan. The first week we're just trying to figure things out. Get into dance with you. You're going to dance with me. We're trying to see what happens. Okay, hey, Monday through Friday, you do really well. Do really well, Susie. This is really good stuff. Susie's just an example name, okay? Saturday, Friday night comes, Saturday night comes, Sunday comes. Let's just say technically this person's supposed to eat 1,500 calories Monday through Friday. They do that, but then something happens. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they do like 3,000 calories every single day. Whoa. Whoa. How did they just double their calories? What happened? Okay, we're like, okay, maybe it was that a treat night. What happened? Was it just an off weekend? What was going on? Well, I don't know. Let's try it again. Let's talk about that. We do a check-in call. Hey, what happened there? Oh, I was busy. Yeah, I just was feeling things. I was craving things. I just wanted that. Okay. Round two, week two. Maybe Monday through Wednesday was doing really well. Then something happened Thursday. Their weight fluctuated. Friday night happened again, but they went out for drinks. And then Saturday, mimosa. Boom, week three. Maybe they were good the whole week again, but then they just had a crazy weekend. They had to go to vacation. So you get the picture. There's a lot that can go on in a week average. And we're just trying to figure out the lifestyle baseline, not the nutritional baseline. Sure, we're tracking the calories of this Susie example, but what does this person like to do? Well, they maybe like to do social things on the weekends. They like to do certain aspects of their lifestyle. They like to go on vacation. They have a busy workload. They take out clients to dinner, something. We're also finding a baseline between the coach and the client. And the reason that has to be longer is because a week doesn't give me anything. Maybe you're good for a week. Maybe you're good for the first week because you're like, oh man, this coach is watching me. But the second week, I start seeing what you're doing. Third week, I definitely start seeing you, cool off a little bit. And, you're not so uptight anymore. And you're like, oh man, I don't have to show off to this guy. I don't have to show off to this guy. This Coach Seamus guy is an annoying coach. um, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So what I'm trying to say there is when you give yourself more time, being more patient to find a baseline, we're not just figuring out your nutritional macros. We're not just figuring out how you push yourself in the gym. We're not just figuring out how many steps you take. We're also figuring out your behavior a little bit. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, guys, if that makes sense, just put thumbs up in the chat. I hope I'm not speaking to the void here, which I know I am, sort of, kind of. But if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, please. Hashtag replay, please. And put a put a thumb in the chat, maybe a 3 if you guys want to know tip 3. Mm. Mm. Okay. Let's see what the comments say. Hopefully I'm making sense. Am I speaking to a mic? Marcos is like, boom, thumbs up. Who else is here? I got 3 viewers. So Marcos is one of them. 1/3 of you is giving me support. Where's the other 70%? Where's the rest of you guys? Give me some love. Give me some freaking love in here. Give me some love. Put that real time comment. Put that real time comment. It's happening. It's happening. Tip number 3, guys. You gotta come to the end, but this is the big one. Also, baseline is meant to establish other changes and variables that most people take on. Yes, great point, Marcos. Thank you. Beautiful. If you have any other points, Marcos, that I might have missed within 1 or 2, you just type it in the chat right now. I.e. more movement, exercise frequency. Yeah, there you go. Good point. Yes, he's correct, guys. Right? There's other things that happen. We're moving more. We're more conscious. Movement. We're training more. We're doing all these things. I love it. What else, Marcos? You give him that love. You give him that education. Okay, guys. Tip numero 3 that will bring your baseline to an absolute best before we move to a burn, a build, and to balance and beyond. And guys, these are just ideas, okay? Ooh, the success signals, Marcos. Yes, we're going to talk about those success signals. We'll talk about those a little bit more later for sure. The success signals, guys, we have a few of those, 7 success signals, and we're going to go in depth. But 3. So numero uno, okay? Numero uno, tracking, whether it's journaling, tracking through an app, just getting it down on a piece of paper, whatever. 2, being patient and having a longer one, okay? Having a longer baseline. We have some success signals as well, but I want to go into this 3rd one, and I think this is going to keep you guys, in my opinion, I think this is one of the most important things, and this is what this group and coaching is all about, is accountability, okay? Not an accountant, accountability, all right? Not your CPA counting your taxes and saving you from fraud. You know who you are. Accountability. What do I mean by this? Guys, we have this freaking community, which I'm super excited about. You've got Coach Marcos, who's a master of their craft. You've got me. I think I know what I'm doing just a little bit. I'm learning every day. But we're here to encourage, motivate, and also keep you on point. But not only that, do you have the people around you? You have the people around you. You have the people around you that are like-minded to keep you in check, and you also have got your community in person with your friends, the people you work out with, or just your community out there as an Athlete 2.0 person doing your thing, the people you work with, your family. Accountability is the biggest thing. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't mean, I'm accountable, like I keep myself accountable. I do what it's being a person of your word and being the person that you promise you want to be. This person that you are working so hard to be. Because remember, what is Athlete 2.0? We are redefining our image, our self-image in this life of professionalism, being a parent, being a high performer. you're constantly pushing the narrative. You're constantly transforming. You're constantly influencing yourself to go, I need more. I need to do more. I need to develop myself. And I need to keep pushing. So, with that being said, accountability is not just accountability to yourself, it's accountability to the people in this group, and then it's accountability to kind of the leadership, the group, the guidance that we have here, but more importantly, to who you really want to be and who that true person is. So it can be a goal. Coach Seamus, Coach Marcos, I got to drop this 15 pounds. Okay, cool. I like that. Coach Seamus, I'm dealing with, I got this big thing in 90 days. I want to look phenomenal. Cool, could be that. Coach Seamus, Marcos, I've got this sports CrossFit, tournament kind of happening. What's a plan we could come up together? Okay, I like that. Cool. Small, little success goals. But here's something Marcos and I agree. You got to find something beyond just small goals and beyond saying, hey, I just want to be healthy. I know Marcos is in here, but man, Marcos, what's your opinion on why, and I know this is probably a long-winded answer, just keep it simple, but why just being healthy isn't enough? Oh, I just want to be healthy. Coach Seamus, Coach Marcos, I just want to be healthy. Let's see what Marcos says, but I think I know what he's going to say. I think I know what he's going to say. Why just being healthy isn't enough to keep you accountable. I've been down that trap. So I know why, but let's see what Marcos says. Let's see. It doesn't set intentions like a death stare. Oh my gosh. Freaking set that up. I love that so much. It doesn't set intentions like a death scare. That's right, guys. I think man, yo, I gotta say that one more time. It doesn't set intentions like a death scare. That's right. If something isn't facing you, if it's not in your face and it doesn't hurt and it doesn't have enough pain, it doesn't scare you, sometimes being honest with you, like, oh, I just want to be healthy, it's just so nonchalant, it's copacetic, it's nothing. It's not gonna move you. I don't think so. No. The people that I have coached that have never been fit in a day of their life, never tracked a macro in a day of their life, never cared about health a day in their life. They were just out there hustling. They were out there taking care of their family. They're just doing their thing. The moment that they had something scare them, or the moment that they had a deeper reason, maybe it was their child being born, maybe there was a grandkid being born, the reason that they knew they needed to step it up and show up every day, that was the moment that defined the rest of how they were going to live their life. It doesn't set intentions like a death scare. That's right. You have to have something more than just, oh, I want to be healthy. You need something more. Whether that's your kid, they're growing up and you want to be with them and you want to show them like old pops and mama can still outrun you, out pull up you. I know Marcos is probably going to beat up Zeke and Ari in workouts like 20 years from now when they're like teenagers, like 10, 12 years from now when they're teenagers. I know that I want to put my kid in a chokehold and be like, Dad still got some tricks. Okay? And, you got to have a deeper reason why, and you got to have something facing you where you're like, oh, man. And accountability, back to a baseline. I'm going to tie this back to tracking and the metrics and the patience. If you don't know where you're at, then how do you know if it's scary enough to set a burn goal or to do a build goal? If you haven't tracked, right? We have free resources for you in this group. If you haven't tracked and you don't know where you're at, then you're just shooting in the dark, right? That's you're kind of like, what should I be scared of? Well, you got to get some assessments. Marcos and I work clinically, so we see people get scared because their bone mineral density says osteoporosis, and they're like, oh shoot, I gotta go start lifting. I gotta go do more training. I gotta get my hormones in the right place. Or, they see their blood pressure, or they see, their lipid profile, and they make a nutritional change. It's good to have those assessments, but how do you know what you're doing day to day? Are you weighing? Are you measuring? Are you checking yourself out in the mirror photos wise? Are you looking at a scale that was like a Wi-Fi scale and just kind of tracking that over the years, or just kind of going like, oh, I just want to be healthy. Okay, you're not gonna show up with any intention. You're not gonna show up at all. Um, so you know, but once you do start showing up, that baseline phase, that first 30 days, that first 6 weeks, you guys working in here, you got to be a little bit patient too. If you neglected your health, you've neglected your bees of body composition for some time, you can't just think like, oh, I spent 6 years gaining this weight or 6 years deconditioning my body and go, you know what, in 6 weeks, I'm gonna be Superman, Superwoman, Wonder Woman. I'm gonna figure this out and set it up. Nah, you got to stay accountable and you got to have a bigger goal and you have a bigger reason why, and you got to share that. So here's my call to action, team. I've been talking for about 30 minutes. Hopefully I didn't bore you. Just some random kid here in Los Angeles today, all by myself. We'll get Marcos on the next call, and we'll do a coaching call for real. This is more of the educational athlete 2.0 frameworks, and we'll get one of these a week. But this is just our kickoff call. This is our welcome call. And with that being said, let's do a call to action. Hope you guys enjoyed this talk. If you're in the replay, you enjoyed it, say enjoyed it. If not, just say hate it. Don't ever want to see Seamus again. Just make it Marcos. You can comment that too, okay? I won't be offended, trust me. Marcos can take the heat. I can't. I got an ego issue. All right. With that being said, guys, the call to action is do me a favor if you've gotten this far. First and foremost, please introduce yourself in the group. All right, where you've been in your athletic journey and what your athlete 2.0 journey looks like now. So basically, hey, I'm Susie. I've been a previous athlete. I was a track runner, for example. But now I'm a busy parent. I've got 3 kids, and I really just want to make sure that I'm there for them, and I'm at my best. So I want to make sure I'm training consistently, and I'm at a great body weight for myself. That's just an example. Or, hey, I'm Seamus. I used to be a previous collegiate wrestler. Now I just kind of do, hybrid athlete training just to keep myself healthy and, make sure to beat my kids' butts one day. Whatever it is, please put it there. And the next call to action after you've introduced yourself is make sure, if you have not, get on a discovery call with Marcos and I. Here's the thing. The B's of body composition, whether you're doing a burn, a build, baseline, beyond, whatever it is, if you don't know what you're doing, you might need a little guidance. If you're struggling and you've been struggling with maybe your health, and maybe it's been, a few years of trying to lose this weight, trying to lose that weight, or hey, it's been a few years of I've really been struggling with pain, weakness, and I need a build, or I just really struggled with, trying to figure out my food. If you're feeling that kind of way and you need to just talk to someone and figure it out, we are here to do so. So do me a favor, we'll DM you. What we can do is you can DM us and we can get you our discovery call link. So we'll have it here somewhere, and we'd love to talk to you and show you guys what we can offer you. Again, totally free group. You guys got everything here. Free resources, metrics tracker, biofeedback forms. You have these calls. You can comment in, ask questions anytime. We'll coach you up 100%. But if you need that deeper touch and you feel like you've been struggling, look, right now, this call here, right before the holidays. We know that most folks are not necessarily going to try to move the needle, maybe with a body composition, but they still need to figure out, some habits to figure out. We'd love to teach you, okay? We don't want you to be that person where that they do a Thanksgiving, but it's not one Thanksgiving. It's 4 Thanksgivings. Okay, if you have a divorced family, it's like you got to go there, and then you got to see this family, and now it's like Thursday to Sunday, but then you got leftovers for the rest of the week, so it's 2 weeks of Thanksgiving, and next thing you know, you gain 7 to 14 pounds, you didn't even know it. Christmas comes along, or the Jewish holidays, or any of those holidays, and then you're like, shoot, New Year, and then you're like, oh, it's another new year, and I got to figure out how to lose this weight again, or how to perform again, or get my butt back in the gym. If you're tired of feeling that way, get on a call with us. We'll put the links here somewhere, and we'll make it happen for you. Guys, man, Marcos, any last words you'd love to say for these folks here in the comments, and I'll relay it back. Man, I'm super excited. I don't know about you guys, but Athlete 2.0 is here. It is here. Marcos and I have been in the works for it. But Marcos, any last final words? I'll put in the chat there, and I'm super excited to get you guys your results, this community going, and just the fire underneath us to live that athlete 2.0 lifestyle. Let's see. I'll give Marcos here just a minute. And next time we'll be on call together. I promise, team. I promise. We'll be in here together. We'll get the Zoom link up. Won't be so educational. Won't just be me talking to the screen. Marco says, control what you can, cope with what you can't, and concentrate on what matters. One more time. Control what you can, cope with what you can't, concentrate on what matters. Guys, Coach Seamus and Coach Marcos out for our first kickoff call. Again, comment below or introduce yourself to the chat, what your journey is, and then also at the same time, get on a call with us. We are super excited to be here. Coach Seamus out.